Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isaiah and I will be your guide on this rambling train to nowhere. Today I actually am talking about a video I saw another YouTuber make and upload yesterday, actually. I didn't realize that I was being so topical for once in my entire dumb life. But it's by this person called the Queer Kiwi. She is a queer YouTuber who's from New Zealand who lives in London. Very very straightforward name. I love it. Her channel is significantly larger than mine. Um, so hopefully no one pays attention to this. But I just wanted to have a conversation about a couple of points in her video. I am begging you to get a divorce, please. Because there are 2 points that I am actually very familiar with because she is commenting on, I think, posts from Are the Straights Okay or whatever. And I recognize two of them. And one has bothered me the multiple times I've seen it be brought up for various reasons. And the other one bothers me because it feels like she's just reacting to it without doing any research. And I wanted to clarify for anybody who happens to see her video and then sees mine for whatever reason. I don't know why they would when you have 320,000 followers and I have 25. Yay. I almost have 100 hours of view time too. That's exciting. I feel like I'm an up and coming YouTuber now. But I want to try and play her stuff and then comment on it. So I'm going to let her read the first post and let's hit play.
Thinking about the couple I met who had a whiteboard in their kitchen where the husband earned points for doing chores like the dishes, and if he got enough points, he could cash it in for a blowjob. I've never seen something so unsexy and viscerally repulsive in my life. Two things. What? Surely you should want to help out with the chores, right? Surely you should want to, help make your wife's life a little bit easier. You should want to contribute. And also, you should be wanting to have sex and do sexual things with one another.
All right, I'm going to pause her there. So she read this tweet out loud and then she commented on it with her 2 points about what she finds having an issue with. And I've seen this post about 3 or 4 times in the past, and every time I've seen it, I've gotten a little more uncomfortable because one, this person is commenting on someone else's household and a public platform. It feels kind of uncomfortable that you're getting to air out someone else's sex life when you aren't anywhere near a participant. Admittedly, you were put in an environment where you could see it. They maybe shouldn't have it quite so visible, but I mean, if you are a couple that don't have children, I guess it's okay to have something more visible like that. And I started getting bothered by this because I saw a post from neurotypical people talking about how having charts and getting rewards at times can help a lot with getting through some of the more mundane tasks. Like, I have a lot of difficulty getting started with the day, but if I'm able to make a marker be like, okay, if I get through these 5 tasks, I can sit down for an hour and play Minecraft, or I can sit down and try and figure out how to draw for a bit. Or if that becomes the task, then it's that. Or like with Briar, we have set up where every few job applications they put in, they get to have a fancier coffee than normal. So that is the first thing that bothers me. It's like, not necessarily the husband doesn't want to do chores, but it may be a way to help get through that initial executive dysfunction to get through to the chores. Now, of course, I don't know who this person is talking about, but so it's very, very likely it's just a regular what the fuck straight people. Why are you doing this? But that was my first thought is not necessarily a reward chart because a husband doesn't want to do shit. Or I'm probably reading this more charitably, but I don't know. I don't see the point of hating on this quite as viciously as I've seen other people do. let's continue her point about the sex, because I have really strong feelings about this as an asexual person.
You should, like, that should not be something you're forced to do. That should be something that you want to do. And not everyone likes giving blowjobs, and that's totally fine. You don't have to like that. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it. Right? But, like, if you're doing it, you should like it. And who don't understand people who are, like, totally okay with, like, accepting, like, any form of sexual activity at all, while one person's not enjoying it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. And again, I'm coming at this through an asexual lens. So in that case, asexual is a lack of sexual attraction, but there are a lot of asexual people that are in relationships, long-term relationships, with allosexual people, people who do experience sexual attraction. And one of the aspects of dating an allosexual person is that oftentimes sexual intimacy is something that they feel like they require for a sense of being close to the other person. It can cause a lot of strife with asexual people because, first off, there's a lot of asexual people that don't enjoy the act of sex. They've either been traumatized by it, either through stuff that was trying to make them be allosexual or just other sexual trauma. They have had just zero interest to start with. You have people like me who grew up asexual, but they were traumatized by the church into being actively fearful of the act of sex. And then you have people that have tried it and they don't like some aspect of it, and that's totally fine. But it's important for asexual people dating allosexual people to communicate this. But then you have other asexual people who, while they aren't interested in the act of sex, they have fallen for someone who needs that sexual intimacy to feel complete. And there can still be a disconnect because one allosexual person may not always want to instigate it. They want to feel wanted. Everyone wants to feel wanted in some level. Even aromantic people, they want to feel wanted by their friends. They want to be able to hang out with their friends. Humans are very social creatures. We want to be wanted in some aspect. So it's not a surprise to me that allosexual people would want to feel wanted by their partner in a sexual way. That can cause a disconnect with an asexual person because they don't immediately click with the idea of we have to initiate so that our partner feels like they're wanted. Something for a conversation. Depending on the asexual and allosexual couple, they may have a conversation and the asexual person may figure out a routine so that their partner feels wanted. And then you get to the disinterested in sex, but they are still engaging in the act to satisfy their partner. And this is why I disagree with what Miss Kiwi here is saying, because I do agree, generally, you want to have both parties to be enthusiastically into whatever is happening, but there is still this, it feels like it's erasing the fact that there are a lot of people who desire to make their partner feel more complete. Nettle is climbing up my leg. It feels like it's ignoring the fact that there are people who want to make their partner feel more complete without necessarily not enjoying. Enjoying is not the right word, but without necessarily being completely enthusiastic about what they're doing. And that is a big erasure of asexual opinions and attitudes towards sex. And I think that's why I get bothered by it. There's also the fact that she mentioned that not all people enjoy giving blowjobs. It's understandable. I've watched porn. It doesn't look like it's fun in the least. It's disgusting, actually. And this is coming from someone who wishes he had a dick. But in this particular aspect, she's talking about this couple needs to communicate, but maybe they have communicated and they've come up with this system. Again, I'm reading this really nicely towards this heterosexual couple. It's very possible this is a on the rock situation, but if this is something that works for them, why are we judging? Like, whatever executive dysfunction that's going on in this husband's brain that's making it harder for him to complete chores, the wife now has a way to say, I'm not interested in blowjobs. This is going to be a special treat for you when you're able to get through whatever executive dysfunctions in your brain. And the husband has this thing that he enjoys having and can prompt him to do things. And I honestly don't see what's wrong with that. If they're in a healthy, happy relationship, then what's the problem? Let's keep playing.
Or one person feels forced to do it, like that just doesn't sound enjoyable at all. If the person I'm with isn't having a good time and isn't enjoying it, then I am not enjoying it either. I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable. The whole thing about sex is that it's like a thing you do together. It's something you enjoy together. You should all want to be participating in it. And if you're not, then it's not a good time. And would you not feel uncomfortable and like gross? It makes no sense to me.
So what bothers me here is the fact she's like, if you're not, it's not a good time. It's like, yeah, okay, but you don't know that they're not enjoying the act together. Just like, I mean, some asexual people have sex with their partner even though they don't enjoy the act because it makes their partner feel good. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting your partner to feel good if you are able to tolerate the things that leads up to it? I get really confused about this. I think Miss Kiwi just doesn't understand how people with like different libidos can have a healthy relationship together without necessarily having to both be enthusiastically consensual 100% of the time. And that sounds so wrong, but I'm talking about like both partners are agreeing to this, both partners want to do it, both partners understand where the other is coming from. It requires a lot of communication, but it bothers me that she's completely ignoring this entire other community that exists, because I know people that are asexual and don't really like having sex, but they will have sex with their partner because they're allosexual and they need that intimate touch to feel like they are wanted. And they're happy. They're very happy together. They have a child together. Sometimes the things that you want, the relationships that you want, you have to have compromise. It's why my best friend has put off transitioning so that he could have a child, because he wanted a flesh and blood child, and it was a compromise. He didn't want to be seen as a woman for any longer than he has to be, but he wants flesh and blood children, and the best way to do that for him was to put off transitioning until he's got his family. Let's keep going. Skip the rest of that part because it's kind of just the same thing where she's like, she gets the title from this segment of just get a divorce, and it's very am I the asshole relationship advice. Just get a divorce, black and white. There is no shades of gray. So let's go on to the next one.
So this is a post in Crochet for Beginners and Beyond. I just need to vent. I'm still very new to crochet, and this is my very first C2C. I gave it as a gift to a coworker on Friday for her baby that is due in January. Today she left it laying on my desk with a note saying, weren't appropriate colors for her daughter. I'm heartbroken. What? It's a rainbow. It's literally all the colors. What's not appropriate about a rainbow? Like, especially, like, not to stereotype colors or whatever, but, like, if you're gonna go off of, like, stereotypes, don't people get rainbows for girls? Is that not a thing that people do? Have rainbows just... Is everyone just, like, rainbows are gay now? Like...
Okay, I'm going to stop her there, and I don't actually want to play the rest of this portion of the clip because it's just kind of the same thing where rainbows aren't just for gay, but it's not a problem if it's gay. Okay, whatever. The issue is, and I've seen this exact post, and I've seen people reply to it, and they explained it to me. So that this works me up because I've seen this post in Reddit. So wherever she grabbed it from, unless it's a site that completely deletes all the comments attached to it, she should have been able to see this. Also, if you just Google rainbow baby, you get this information. Rainbows given for babies is usually a sign of this is the first child that they have had after a miscarriage or like death of their previous baby. So, yeah, it's actually a really big deal. So, I pulled up Healthline, and it says a rainbow baby is a name coined for a healthy baby born after losing a baby due to miscarriage, infant loss, stillbirth, or neonatal death. So, and it actually gets the term from the same, gets the rainbow baby for the same reason that like Noah's Ark exists. So it's like because of the rainbow appearing in the sky after a storm, after a dark and turbulent time. So it is a very cute blanket. This woman did very well with it. Um, and I do feel bad that the woman who made the blanket and put all her time and love into it has had such a visceral reaction. But the woman that was receiving the gift wasn't entirely wrong either. She acted out in a bit of an assholish way. But this has nothing to do with the baby being gay. This has everything to do with the fact that a rainbow baby is a very specific thing. And so when they have a baby that is a miracle baby, they often um, will use these symbols to show we've been through a really tough time and this is our miracle baby. So both of these instances pissed me off. This one actually pissed me off because you could just do the bare minimum of research of like rainbow blanket for baby or something like that, and you would get information about why this could have been offensive to the mother to be. And it has nothing to do with being gay. Now, very uncharitably, this could have everything to do with being gay. But Rainbow Baby is such a popular thing. It's been around since I was a teen. And people can be very sensitive to their own fertility and things like that. And the idea of infant death and the idea of carrying your baby wrapped in a rainbow blanket and other people thinking that you have had a miracle baby and they come up and talk to you about it. And nobody really wants that. What if a stranger comes up to you because they see you have a rainbow blanket around your baby and they start expressing their emotions towards it because they had a miscarriage? Nobody wants that. That woman that's revealing her trauma, dumping it on this other woman who hasn't had that trauma, they're going to feel very uncomfortable and gross if the truth comes out. So it's not right to be so vitriolic without doing any research at all. It's one of the things that can piss me off too, these reactionary commentary stuff. I just wish people would do a modicum of research. But that's all I've got. I actually really like the Queer Kiwi stuff most of the time, but I was driving back from my first workshop at Teen Lounge, and this came up on the radio because my phone hooks up to the radio, yada, yada, yada. And I heard the first tweet that we reacted to, and I had to just stop it because, yeah, the first one I'm reading a little too charitably, but it's just frustrating as someone who's struggling so much currently with executive dysfunction. Like even today, it's already like 1 o'clock, and I've barely done anything that I need to do for the day. It's it's just frustrating to see people start getting into other people's lives. And then this morning when I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish listening to the entire video, give Kiwi all the benefits of the doubt, see how she reacts to it, and then just all of the stuff about sex and then the blanket, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going to learn how to incorporate other people's videos into my stuff, hopefully without making a huge mess of it. So, we'll see. Um, but yeah, that's all I've got for today. I am going to be taking care of the fish tanks a little bit today because we've noticed Cheska's been drinking out of the one on the desk, so the water's starting to run a little low, and I gotta make sure they're fine. Gotta make sure all the plants are done, and then I'm going to work on some pet portraits because Brooke commissioned me for that, and I want to get them done by the end of next week so I can ship them out for Christmas. Anyway, I hope y'all are staying hydrated, and you guys have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.